What is up, guys? I'm gonna try and do a quick video. We're gonna call it 5 minutes of flipping. Want to run down a couple baits. We're gonna run down a couple rods, my setups. It's probably gonna be a little bit longer than 5 minutes, but nonetheless, let's just jump right into it. These are my favorite baits, colors, styles of baits for flipping. It's real simple. I try to keep it as simple as possible. Keep it simple, stupid. We can all fall into the trap of flashy colors, new baits, new hooks, new this, new that, and the other. And I guess I've just learned over the last 25 years of bass fishing in general, 20 years, hardcore, tournaments and stuff like that. I'm no professional by any stretch of the imagination, but I like to have fun and I like to flip. It's one of my favorite things. So my unprofessional opinion on flipping style baits and keeping it simple as possible. So quick rundown, one of the OGs, one of the ones to start the beaver revolution. Reaction Innovations, Sweet Beaver. This is the Reaction Innovations, Kinky Beaver, right there. This is one of my favorites now, the Bronco Bug, great bait. This is the Riot Baits Fuzzy Beaver. This is the Missile Baits D-Bomb, great bait. Now, getting to a couple other creatures, the Strike King Rage Bug. Again, these are all some of just my quick favorites. A couple crawls for you. This is a 6th Sense Stroker crawl, right there. This is a Missile Baits crawl. Love the action on this one. This is the Rapala Crush City cleanup crawl. And then this is the Mock Series crawl. A little bit more finessey. I like this bait on a little bit smaller setup. Great for a chatterbait, great for a buzzbait even. But a quick rundown on that. One thing you'll notice that every single one of those baits, if you saw, was a laminate color. This is the Bronco Bug in Bama Bug Green Pumpkin. So that's the purple, green flake, blue flake, and the green pumpkin. This is the Riot's bait. This is a green pumpkin. And it's got a purple. You can see that in the kind of the light. This is the Rage Bug. This is Okeechobee Crawl. A little bit more watermelon than green pumpkin, but Okeechobee Crawl, sapphire blue and blue flake. And then this is the Kinky Beaver. This is called Tramp Stamp. So it's green pumpkin, black and blue flake laminate. And then the Bronco Bug. This is green pumpkin, red flake, California 420, black and red flake. So those to me are everyday colors that you can go out and you can throw in muddy water, clear water, stained water, and in between. I live in an area where the water is very tannic, so it's kind of black, green, brown. It's clear, but it's dark. So I like every single one of those colors for that situation. All of them represent craws, all of them represent bluegills. I think your sapphires, your Okeechobee Crawl can represent a bluegill very, very well. This is kind of the Strike King version, or excuse me, the 6th Sense version of that. Again, all of them represent bluegills, crawfish. Heck, even, if I went out on the river here, it would represent a crab. I've caught bass with crabs in their throats. On the Pasquotank River last year, you're fishing, you're catching flounder, redfish, and bass, all in the same areas. Down on the deltas, Louisiana Delta, you're doing the same thing. You're representing a crab, you're representing a crayfish, you're representing bait fish in certain scenarios. Again, every single one of these colors I would throw in any kind of color condition, except for even the Okeechobee Crawl. Every one of them I would throw in dirty water. Every one of them I throw in clean water, which is why I like them so much, because I can keep it simple. My favorite, as of this very moment, is the Crush City Bronco Bug in either the black and blue green pumpkin or the Bama Bug. I was using this one a bunch of yesterday, California 420. I ran out of them. But the Bronco Bug right now is my favorite. I would say my favorite all time. And what I do with the Kinky Beaver actually is I will take those tentacles right there, and I will just pull them off. And I think I get a little bit more action out of the claws that way. I really like that a lot. So that, the Bronco bug, and then for a crawl, I'm a big fan of this. If you want a little bit more action, the Missile Baits crawl. It's got a lot more kick in the water to it, moves a little bit more water, and I like this if fish are being a little bit more tough. You know, they're biting a little funny, or high pressure day, or spawn. They want something a little bit more subtle. This doesn't have as much action, but it's also a great punching bait because it's a slim, slender profile. It's hard to see, I know. So if you got a lot of matted grass, hydrilla, gator grass, water willows that you're punching, that's a great bait for it. Yeah, that's just a real quick rundown on baits. What I like to do as well on all those baits is this is smelly jelly. This is just the crawl, I think it's called crawl anise, crawl anise, whatever it might be. And then also I like to use the Spike It pens. This is a garlic formula. Orange, I like orange, blue, chartreuse, and red. You can get pink. I think there's a couple others as well. The pens are good when they're new, but after a few months of sitting in the boat, whatever, they do tend to dry out a little bit. They're okay. They last for a while. You can kind of shake them like this, and they'll revamp themselves. What I throw as far as hook, line, and weight on basically every one of these baits is I've been using a lot more straight shank this year. I don't have one to show you. Unfortunately, I ran out of them. But this is just simply a 4/0 owner nickel EWG. Probably one of my favorite all-time hooks. You know, super, super nice gap, super wide gap. It works out really well. And the weight I throw, again, 99% of the time, unless I'm fishing deep water or I'm fishing super heavy mats that I need to punch through, is a 3/8 ounce. See that there? It's just a 3/8 ounce. I either throw a black or a green pumpkin. You don't need to get into the June bugs or reds and stuff like that. I mean, I get it, but keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. Old saying, just keep it simple. And then the line, I throw 99% of the time, I'm throwing 20. Oftentimes I'll go down to like a 15 if I'm throwing a real finessey bait or a lighter rod. If I'm throwing a Senko on like a 1/4 ounce, 3/16 ounce, or even lighter, up down to, you know, a 1/16 of an ounce. You know, I'll throw a lighter wire hook. I'll throw a straight shank hook. You know, but I keep, again, unless I'm throwing a real big bait, a 4/0 is perfect for 85% of baits out there. A 3/0 for something a little bit smaller, you know, like this guy, I can still throw a 4 on this, no problem. You know, I can still throw a 4 on that guy, no problem at all. But, you know, 3/0 wide gap or for straight shank hook would do really well on that bug. But when you get into, you know, your kinky beavers, I'll show you how to rig it real quick. When you get into these guys, you know, you want to go about a 1/4 inch in up to that bend. You just come out real quick. You go up around the bend, just like that. I like to hide the eye of the hook, protects the knot a little bit. And then you can kind of see where the hook's going to come out, right? Just like that. I find that, I bend it, put the point of the hook in, just like that. You can kind of see the hook right there. All right, come up. Now this bait's got a little bit of a well right there that you can just lie the hook in if you're not fishing heavy cover, excuse me. But what I like to do, and what most people like to do, is basically you push that bait back up a little bit, you pinch it, and you bury that hook. So now, you know, your grass and you're coming over rocks and wood, it protects it a little bit more. Again, I like to keep it super, super straight. You know, straight as you can possibly get that bait on that hook. But yeah, I mean, simplified rig. That's a Texas rig right there for you. Again, another thing I do 99% of the time, as you can see that little guy there, that little rubber stop, it's just a bobber stop. I actually just bought some because I ran out. They're so cheap. These are expensive to me. I mean, for little pieces of rubber, these are like $2.50 for like 10 of them. I ordered another 60 from Tackle Warehouse the other day. If you're fishing cover, my opinion again, unprofessional as may be, I'm always pegging my weights. If I'm fishing open water, deep water, throwing a 10-inch worm on a point, I'm leaving it unpegged. But fishing any sort of cover, rock, whatever it may be, I'm pegging it 99.9% of the time. So I go through a bunch of these. So I had to get a couple more. Yeah, that's it. That's really truly it. I'm trying to keep it simple. I said flip it in 5, but it's been 10, almost 11 minutes now. Rods, real quick. This is what I start out with. Obviously, you can see a frog on there, but this is the Level Rods NGX. It's a 7'3" heavy fast action. This is a great all around for up to flipping a 1/2 ounce. I don't think I'd go much heavier than that. You can. I don't think I would. I think I would just stick with 3/8 is my favorite style. Like I said, 95% of the time, that's what I'm throwing. And I'd probably, no problem putting 20-pound test on this. I have a 65-pound braid on it right now. Love this rod. I'm probably gonna slowly but surely start switching all my rods to these Level NGX. Super, super light. I mean, light as a feather. I can fish that all day, and I do because I love throwing frog. But this is the Lew's Hyper Mag for the reel. You can see that guy right there. A little bit more expensive reel, but I love it. I actually ordered another one last week. This is the 8 3-to-1. That's what I love to flip and frog with. You just want to be able to get them out of that cover, out of that grass, out of that rock, whatever it might be. You just want to be able to winch them out, drag tight, and you're just cranking them out of that cover as fast as possible. So, right now I have a frog on it, but comfortably I would throw, I'd throw a swim jig on this, no problem. But as far as flipping goes, this would be a great starting rod, a great starting point. 130 to 160. I think they do have one with the wood handle that goes up to 199, or the cork handle, excuse me. I may give one of those a shot at some point, but this right here is 170 bucks, I think. And man, it's just so light. It looks good. It's kind of got the carbon fiber wraps. I like the bigger guides. I know the craze way back when was those micro guides. I'm not a fan of those. I'm just not. I like a little bit bigger guide. But this is my go-to flipping all the time setup right here. As far as the rod is concerned anyways, this is the 6th Sense Sensory rod. It is a 7.7 heavy, fast action, holds up to 1.5 ounces comfortably. I've thrown up to 2 ounces as far as with glide baits on it. But for flipping, again, throwing a 3/8 ounce weight, a tungsten, and throwing a Bronco bug, you're probably throwing dang near 3/4 of an ounce. So, 7. What I really like about this rod too, A, it's super light, and B, I really like actually this full EVA foam handle. Really like it. I think it's comfortable. Again, you fish it all day long, zero issues. The one thing I don't like about this rod, it gets a little bit annoying sometimes, is that you can see on the NGX where the hook is on this, the little bait keeper right there is on the front, whereas this one is on the back. You can see it right there. Don't really care. I like the placement of it as far as where it is on the rod. I just wish it was on the front. A lot of times I'll be flipping, and the line, with a little bit of slack, the line will wrap around and get caught, and I'll go to flip it, and it gets all messed up, and I end up in a tree, or a couple times I've set the hook on a fish, and this has gotten bent out because I set the hook and it's wrapped around it. So, yeah, this is as far as the rod, this is a Lew's Super Duty. 7.5 to 1. It is the Speed Spool LFS. Love Lew's. Every single reel I have is Lew's, as far as bait casters go. Every single one I have is Lew's. They haven't let me down. This reel is probably 10 plus years old, if not 15. And again, Lew's Super Duty, great rod, or excuse me, great reel. You know, it's a little bit heavier. I will say the reel is a little bit heavier, but I'm okay with that because the rod balances out real well. The rod is, this setup right here is perfect. I can fish with it all day, no problem. It's super, super light. You know, just balancing it right there, no problems. Yeah, that's the Lew's Super Duty right there. Bam. Throw 20-pound test on that all day. I don't go any less on a heavier action rod. Excuse me. That's good. But yeah, that's a quick rundown. I've already gone quite a bit over what I wanted to do, but you can throw any of these baits in any color water, which is why I love them, which is why I've stuck to them so much. Keep it simple. Don't over exert yourself. Don't over exert your brain thinking of different baits and different styles to throw. Keep blacks and blues, blacks and reds, green pumpkins, and watermelons. And you can do a variation of those. You know, different color glitter, you know, different color tails, which is why I like those pens. You can dye the tails and kind of customize your own bait, but keep it simple. Don't overthink when you're flipping. Keep it simple. Other than that, I think that's it, guys. I'm already well over the time I really wanted to talk, but if you have any questions, comments, you know, shoot me a DM, shoot me a comment, and I'll get back to you almost as soon as possible. And yeah, I appreciate you watching, guys. If I missed anything, somebody's got a thought on something else, dude, I'm all ears. I want to learn. I've been fishing for a long time, so I have fishing going on my TV in my house right now, so I'm always wanting to learn, wanting to change things, and yeah, that's it. That's all I got, guys. I appreciate everybody watching. I know it's a long video. I apologize, but if you have anything, like I said, shoot me a DM, comment. I'll try and answer as soon as I can. But yeah, that's going to be it, guys. I appreciate you. And I'm probably going to get out on the water here in the next hour or two. So maybe we'll see you out there. Peace.